Hello viewers, you are welcome again to my channel. Should in case you are new to this channel, my name is Farmer Tanto. I'm a grassroots environmentalist, I'm a community developer, I'm an organic farmer. So today I am here in Maiwan, Baminda Upstation, Cameroon. This is in my church called Faith Maiwan Baptist Church. 1988, when I was 10 years old, I used to fellowship here when I was little. You know, after all these years, relocating back to Baminda, after so many years in 2012, I came back to my former church. A lot has been going on in this church. You know, as a community developer, I don't only work on environment or agriculture, but when it comes to community service, you know, it's one of my passion. So today we are here in the church premises where we are doing a decking. Like you can see behind me, it's a school that is a current project going on in the church, and we are doing some decking. So the church came out today. It's a small church. The church came out today with children, youths, adults, so that we could join the technicians to do the decking. And we'll be meeting the pastor of the church so that he can share to us, you know, the vision of the whole church. You know, participating in this church, in this decking program today, you know, it's so amazing because it concerns water. As a making more health fellow working on water, so we had to ensure that there is enough water so that we could do the mixture, because without water, nothing is going to work, you know. And we started a well project here in church, but it kind of failed because of so many obstacles. And this is one of the main projects that this year, 2023, we're going to see how we could rehabilitate this well back so that the church will have enough water. Join me as we're going to see the pastor so that we can share more about the vision of the church. Hello, viewers. I'm here with my pastor in church. This is my church where I fellowship. So, Pastor, it was nice having you on this platform, and I feel so honored. So, can you tell us your name and where you come from?
Thank you, Farmer Tanto, for giving me this opportunity to share our concerns and what we are doing out here. I'm Reverend Y. Frederick.
Okay.
I come from Binka, Donga and Mantu Division in the northwest region of Cameroon.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. So, how old is this church?
From the history of this church, by the Cameroon Baptist Convention, still to have some dates to be verified. We had the missionary, Dr. Guevara, when he came to Cameroon, established the Baptist Church, meant a Baptist Church,
Okay.
and the next church was Faith Maiwan Baptist Church. According to history, we are over 60 years.
Okay.
Church was
Wow.
established.
Over 60 years.
60 years.
Wow. So, how many Christians do you have in the church?
We have registered Christians to be 150. Then we have in general church attendance between 200 to 230 when we have joint service. That's
Okay.
when the children and other occasions come in. We have between 200 to 250.
Okay. Wow. And how long have you been in this church?
I took work here on the 1st of November 2012.
2012.
Yes, so I'm here now for exactly 10 years.
Wow, wow,
10
wow.
years.
And I can see a lot of developmental projects going on in church. So I want you to share with me, how did you conceive the vision of all of this?
Before receiving my full confirmation to go to the seminary, I've been with Queen Baptist Church, which is the main church. Remember, I mentioned that was the first church established by the missionary.
That's right.
I worked there for 25 years.
Okay.
I was a financial secretary, as a church announcer, vice appointed deacon,
Yeah.
and we carried a lot of projects. In the northwest region here, Queen Church, the size of Queen Church, I think is almost the biggest.
Okay.
And by that time, I was in the board, and I had the opportunity to be at all sitting and all decision making.
Mhm.
And from there, I was working, not knowing that it was part of training.
Okay.
I'd say my inspiration was from Queen Baptist Church.
Okay.
And when Queen was 70 years, I was 25 years in church,
Wow.
in that church,
Wow.
for ministry.
Wow. So now, with all of these projects going on in church for 10 years, you have been able to realize all of this. How did the vision of this construction start?
When I got my complete vision to go to the seminary. Uh, I tried admission in Kumba Baptist Seminary. It didn't work. I went to do seminary. I didn't have, not that I was not qualified, the conditions were there. I was struggling around. There was no money, there was no backup, so I dropped that. I also tried and had a provisional admission to go to Britain. I went to the embassy and I said, "We are sorry, we cannot give you this visa." I didn't drop that. Also went to America. A friend was there. I got provisional admission. I went to the embassy in the US,
Yeah.
Cameroon Yaoundé. She said no. I came back. I thought the vision is finished, but by God's design, I got admission to West African Theological Seminary in Lagos, Nigeria.
Okay.
And when I got to Nigeria, I was a student pastor serving in Faith Foundation Baptist Church in Lagos.
Okay.
My pastor who was there was going to US for further studies. Just for 1 year and 2 years. I was to do a course for 4 years.
Okay.
He saw that my vision was the same vision he had. He convinced the Yorubas who were there, because more than 80% are the Yorubas, that I should take over the church and manage it. I worked for a little time, but because of cultural differences,
Yeah.
there was pressure and I dropped that. And there they had a project that they were building. Again, I fell into project building.
Okay.
And after my 4 years, as I came here, from Faith Foundation in Lagos, Nigeria, God called me to Faith Baptist Church.
Wow.
So now I had in mind, and I thank God that I was laying the foundation in Nigeria. So
Wow.
now I should build on the faith.
Wow.
So now I saw a church when I came here. The church I said, the missionary level of this church. I convinced this population, they were at that time, we were only 60 registered members.
That's right.
And they were afraid that they cannot carry the project. I said, let's start what we can do.
That's right.
And I said, if I had come like that and somebody made the foundation, I would have been building on it.
That's right.
So we went to look for official documents. We got that, and little wise, people's mind, they were saying, hey, so we can do something.
That's right.
So now they said we should go ahead. We went for the project. So at that time, we signed 3 projects.
Okay. And
Authorized.
what are the projects?
We had the main church, which is we targeted at 132 million.
Okay.
If you see the pastor's house, it doesn't look like the pastor's house.
That's right.
Then we also signed that, which was costing 48 million.
Okay.
Now, because of the neighbors, we have challenges with our land.
Yeah.
Not only in faith here, in our region here, the issue of land has been a problem.
Yeah.
So we also went in to sign for a fence of 18 million.
Wow.
So at that time, I convened the elders at the church and we went into a project of 198 million.
Okay.
So we signed 3 projects.
Wow. So I can see the main church project started. I remember the small church that used to be there. And let me just tell you something that will surprise you. In 1988, I was 10 years old. I used to fellowship in Faith My One Baptist Church, but it was a very small church. And I remember when you came in now, we had to demolish the bigger church, the smaller church, then we started this bigger church. But now we see there's a school project going on as well.
Yeah.
And today, the few Christians have come to do decking. So what puzzles me is that why did you decide that the few Christians should come and work on the decking, whereas people could have hired technicians, etc. You see, children are there, women are there, and they are all doing the decking. Are you not concerned about safety measures and all the like?
In another way, we'll be asking, why is the church project not going on? The church project is not going on. When I came in here in November 2012, we had 54 pupils in the school.
Okay.
And by 2020, we had 204 children.
Wow.
From the old structure that you will see behind us there was no space for the children.
Okay.
And I told the church that instead of going ahead, already we have a place that we can worship. We are rent-free, we are wind-free, so we should make a place for the children. So we went in for another project for a 3 classroom for the nursery department.
Okay.
The nursery, we have 54 children.
Yeah.
And if you come to the school, you will see that Nursery 1 and 2 are in one class.
Yeah.
Class 1 and 2 are in one class.
Okay.
Class 3 and 4 are in one class.
Wow.
It's only class 5 and 6 that are separate.
Okay.
Now, the authorities of the education, they are worried of, but because of the crisis,
Yeah.
they asked me to go ahead. So I convinced the church that we put a stop on this church, we go slow here,
Yeah.
and come up with a project for the nursery school.
Okay.
So we went out for a nursery school and a project about 32 million.
Okay.
So we started just like a joke.
Yeah.
We got the plot. The plot was our own. We signed the document.
Yeah.
And I want to say for only 2 years,
Yeah.
we are doing the taking today.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So now, yes, the concern for those working, you will see that it's joy for the children to see that they're part of the project. Not only seeing their parents.
Yeah.
You will see from the background that you see them walking, they see them jumping them. Yes, the issue of insecurity, issue of risk will always be there.
That's right.
But remember, we are in a faith-based church. We are trusting God. And let me tell you a testimony for the past 2 years that we started this school project.
Yeah.
The technicians are there, you can verify from them. None of them have hit his hand. No nail has shook anybody. Even a plank has not been stolen from here. That at the back of my mind, I knew that we are going to be free today. Come back to me at the end of the day, and I will tell you that there have been no accident.
And I believe that God is watching because this is God's project.
Right. Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
So now, Reverend, we started a water project here, and then we had some little obstacles because of one or two situations that we could not. And my concern is about water. So actually, we dug this well here, but we could not succeed. Although we made water, in the rain season there's always water, but in the dry season the water dries off. But we could not succeed with this well because we made a hard rock, and we don't have machines, that we could drill through the hard rock. So in the dry season, there's no water in this well. So we had to change position, and we tracked another well just a little bit further away. And I will take you to the side so that you can see the new well that we started. So this is the new well that we had to track using the 2 iron rods. Remember I told you about indigenous knowledge where you can use 2 iron rods to track where water runs underground. So we tracked a new well here, and then we started the well. We had a lot of obstacles because of lack of finances to continue. But we trust God that this year, 2023, we're going to mobilize funds. We're going to raise funds, from well-wishers so that we could continue digging further to put the rings installed and then connect to the main water tank that is in the church. So we hope that at some point when the well must have been established, we'll connect a stand tap to the community, A church is a blessing to the community. So the community needs to benefit from this water as well. Since our goal is to ensure that everyone should have access to safe drinking water. If the church will benefit from this water, the community should also benefit from the same water. And by so doing, we're going to prevent waterborne diseases like typhoid, cholera, etc. Climate change has affected watersheds, but there is still water running underground in the aquifer. In the church premises here, there is a community school, and the kids, they always suffer from shortage of water. So once this project is done, we're going to extend a stand tap to the school so that the children can have clean water. And we're also going to establish a vegetable garden because once there's water, everything flows, water for gardening, water for animals, water for drinking, water for irrigation of the lawns. Water is life. We're going to get there. We've just been at the well to look at the various sites where we had to change to do another well project. And I just hope and I believe that this year, 2023, we are going to rehabilitate that water so that the church can have clean water for the church, for the school, and for the community as well. So now, what are the difficulties are you facing, in realizing this project? Because I see there are very gigantic projects and the Christians are few.
Yes, there are few. I've been encouraging them even through the word of God. As God told his Christians in Haggai, go out and build my church. Bring sticks and build my church. You are living in good houses. People are not poor. People are poor with ideas. In November 2017 when we started this project, uh, the background or the key word I had was that God's work done in God's way without no provision.
That's right.
And now you can see that we are carrying all these projects and the church is moving.
Yeah.
So because it is God's work, He has made provision and He will continue to do that. Now the challenges we have, just like I've said about water, is one of the highest challenges. Do you know that there are times I buy water here to bathe? Yes. Sometimes we have gone to some taps around and we have dirty water.
Yeah.
It has been a challenge with us. You will already know that we started the first water here. We did not go. We had another one in the north. During this time of this decking, knowing that decking was going to take a lot of water, we had to go to Calm Water to plead with the authorities. They had to ask us to give them some fuel and to appreciate the driver who brought us some water.
That's right.
We have the baptistry here. We had to use that as a safety place for water.
That's right.
We have a tank here. We did it. All the buckets in the house. It's like if some people could have space in their stomach, we would have put water. Then water. So one of the challenges we have is water on this hill.
Okay.
Yes. One other thing is that many of the human beings today, they don't like consuming what is their own.
That's right.
If you come to the school there, you will see that the greatest majority of the children who are there are children who are not Christians of this church.
That's right.
Yes. But I want to say that our results have been so wonderful.
Wow.
Just as last year, the first school living certificate we had 98 and common interest 100.
Wow.
All went in 23 and all were successful.
Wow.
Yes. Space is our challenge. The people are our challenge.
That's right.
Yes.
But now you are mentioning about challenges and you are not mentioning financing. Do you have a lot of money? No, because the Christians are so small. How do you raise money to do all of these projects?
The motivation and the blessing has come from God.
Okay.
When I came here, we made the first budget for the church of 6 million.
Mm-hmm.
And the church were asking, where are we going to get this money? I said, God who brought us here was going to give us the money.
That's right.
And my brother, I want to tell you that at the end of the year, we raised 7.2.
Wow. 7.2 million.
7.2 million.
Which is about $14,000.
Yes, yes. And then they were like, hey, so we can do something. I said, you can do something. Now, we used to take 5 weeks and raise a Thanksgiving of 975,000.
That's right.
Yes. And when we did the motivation and work, one day we raised 1,350,000 CFA francs.
That's right.
Yes, about 27,000 US dollars. And these motivated them. So they saw that it was a very challenging thing for them. They knew that God had blessed them.
That's right.
We cannot forget the fact that we have very good friends. Some of our Christians who were with us here, who have left this church, and some of them still within the country.
Yeah.
Each time we have special Thanksgiving, we send invitations to them.
Okay.
They have been healthy. Those who have gone out of the country, they have been healthy.
Wow.
There was something we have experienced for 2022. The Lord laid in our heart, we got the vision that we're going to give pay individual and pay families.
That's
family
right.
Thanksgiving.
That's right.
You need to come here and see. You need to get the testimony people are giving.
That's right.
As I'm telling you, we have tripled what we are giving.
Wow.
And I'm hoping that when we come back at the end of next year to give an interview,
Wow.
the compound will not look the way it is.
Wow.
Yes.
So now, Reverend, I see we have a long way to go, because this is a very giant project. If you were to have a wish, maybe if somebody was to come to partner, with the church, maybe one would be your wish. Maybe you can express your wish.
To those who will have the opportunity, I will tell them it's not an opportunity, it's a privilege. That God wants you to know what is happening on this hill. At this moment, we are taking the school and then we will come back to the church. Our wish is that we are going to take this church for 2023. These two sides of the church is costing us 12 million francs.
Okay.
Yes. And then by 2024, in fact, we are going to deck this church 2022, the 23, raise the pillars to the other floor.
Yeah.
And 2024, we will deck the last decade. And 2025, we are going to roof it.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So my wish is that anybody who has a privilege to see this, please get in contact with us.
That's right.
Yes, the little franc you send to us is an investment in the kingdom of God.
Wow.
And you are going to see how much we are going to
Wow.
be accountable for it.
Wow. Reverend, do you know what? Because of distance, and at some point I shared with you, we're about relocating from this church to a nearby church that is closer to us because of distance and all the like. But something told me that because I fellowship in this church in 1988 when I was 10 years old, and when I came back from United States and I came back to this church and we started the environmental projects, the lawns and everything, something is still telling me that we have to do something before I finally leave maybe for another church. And that is why the vision came up to install an elevator.
Yes, right.
And this is going to be the first church in Cameroon to have an elevator. There's a design for an elevator so that in future it can help to take elderly people, people with personal with disabilities right up, because there's going to be a hall up. And we just hope that as the world is watching, someday we'll have a lot of people that will come to partner with us.
Let me give a short testimony. While I was in Queen Baptist Church, I relocated to where Menda Baptist Church is.
Yeah.
And my family were all there. They asked me to relocate to Menda. One of my sisters shared with me. The issue is not relocating. The issue is ask yourself, God, will I have something doing there?
That's right.
He told that I can go there and be dormant, and the devil will use my hand because the devil wants to use empty hands.
That's right.
I paid taxi every day for 3 years.
Yeah.
Living Menda and coming to bed.
That's right.
Yes. And I think that freedom we have. But I think that before moving, we should ask God, am I still going to have something to say?
That's right.
Because the purpose of our creation is to serve God and glorify Him. Yes.
Wow. Thank you so much, Reverend, for being on this platform. The world is a global village, and we never know who is watching. I never know who is going to come to partner with us, especially the water project. I recently shared my testimony in church. I was elected Making More Health fellow in Germany to scale up water conservation. And one of the dreams of this year is to ensure that the church water project should be realized so that we can continue the rest of the activities. And God will certainly bless us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
I
so
wish
much.
you good health, safety with the family.
Thank you. Hello, viewers. It was an amazing moment, to come back home, to come back to my roots. This is where I fellowship when I was a little boy. And now with all these projects going on, it is so amazing to see how everybody is participating. We want to encourage young people, John F. Kennedy said in 1960, it's not what your country can do for you, but what can you do for your country? And it's so mind-blowing to see how little children, are participating, in the decking of the church, and to see how we can develop our church premises. When we're designing the plan of this church, we had to improvise a section for an elevator. This is going to be the first church in Cameroon to have an elevator upon completion. And our goal is that nobody should be left behind. People with personal disabilities, old people who cannot climb up, who cannot get right to the hall, they are going to use the elevator. And we are looking for partners all over the world that can come to support us to realize this project. And we are going to start 2023. Personally, we're going to start with the water project, because access to safe drinking water is a universal human right that nobody should be left behind. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for always coming back to watch my videos. Please keep on subscribing, keep on sharing, and don't forget to click the notification bell so that you won't miss any of our future videos. I am Farmer. No farmer, no future. Water is life.